No matter whether you're a good, bad, or controversial season, you gotta start somewhere, and today myself and Survivor Spencer will be looking over 5 of the top 10 Survivor premieres. Make sure to subscribe as I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers before next year, and let's kick this video off with number 10, narrated by Spencer.
Okay, so at number 10, and this may be the biggest surprise of this two-part series, and this is really the one that I fought for, so I'll take credit if you're mad at us for putting this in this spot. When me and Bandit sat down, I said we need to get this probably on the bottom part of this list, but I do think it's necessary to have this here. I have Redemption Island at number 10. I feel like it's really important to include this because a lot of people, when they hear this, are going to say, what do you mean? It's Redemption Island, bro. But when you really think about it, the first 3 episodes of this season are fantastic. After that, the season is a bottom 5 season of all time. But the first 3 episodes, especially this premiere, are fantastic. We get not only a returnee entrance with Russell and Rob, which is super epic with those helicopters, but on top of that, we get the difference in reaction to the tribes about their leaders. We also get the Francesca versus Philip stuff. We get the Francesca and Christina are the only people who aren't being herded to the slaughter by Rob, and so therefore Rob just takes them out. It's very mob boss like. On top of that, the Zapatera tribe and all of their kooky personalities, for an example like Ralph. I just really like this premiere, and it has a special spot in my heart as it was the second premiere that I ever watched, so I felt like it really did lock me in to watching Survivor, and so I felt like this deserved a spot on the list.
Zooming in at 9, we have...
Wow!
Otherwise known as Winners at War. It's a premiere with, quite frankly, everything. 20 former Survivor winners, players we haven't seen in 10 plus years, and Danny getting 1v1'd by a boat. Dare I say, this is the best cast amassed, with iconic heroes and villains on our screens that we get to watch play for another season, for 2 entire hours. This cast is stacked, full of amazing players. And Ben. In this premiere, we got many players coming together to reform or newly form alliances. We got to see Sophie and Yule nerd out, Adam became Janice's Jungle Man 2.0, and the 2 biggest villains that butted heads 10 seasons ago in Rob and Parvati joined to create an alliance that initially ran their tribe. On the flip side, we have Natalie and Jeremy back together, with Sandra and Tony squashing their beef on the Decol tribe with a wholesome hug. Oh, and Rob and Amber are back after last playing together 16 years ago on All Stars. Who expected that? We also get some great moments from Ethan, who I personally found to be fantastic in this premiere. Tony has the foundations for his winner edit in disarming people, and this includes his hilarious house arrest conversation. We get to see Amber searching for idols, something I'd never thought I'd see, and Natalie begins her journey as the queen of Edge of Extinction by getting voted out and gifting Sandra an idol. I also really appreciate the editors giving flashbacks to the contestants, providing a nice compliment to them explaining their season. The Natalie boot on this season was strong, especially as it left Jeremy on the bottom, but still in the game, something we didn't see in his prior 2 seasons. And this provides Michelle with her storyline of proving everyone wrong about her undeserving the win. While Amber being booted on the Decol tribe wasn't as big of a shock, we still saw Yule's geniusness in full swing with the one-time player alliance and using the Poker Night live meeting to target the Minority 3. Overall, a good premiere as you would expect with 20 winners, but there are still better to come.
Okay, so at number 8, I have Survivor 42's premiere, and this may be a shock because anyone who watches my videos knows that I'm not the biggest fan of this new era, but I have to respect good Survivor, and I feel like 42 is good Survivor. For starters, that opening challenge is pretty cool with the legs of the race, and I think the high point is when the amulets come in to play and we get to see Hai, Drea, and Lindsay kind of interacting, not knowing each other, but making a big decision together, which is pretty funny to watch, like the mud and the blood being rubbed on each other. And then on top of that, we also have the vibe of Zach kind of throwing away his whole game and Tori almost getting dragged down with Zach, but using her therapy Jedi mind tricks to fight back. On top of that, we also get Jonathan and Marianne really being introduced in this premiere pretty well with big edits to show us who the main characters of this season will be. I'd say overall that I just really think that this premiere is worth being on this list, and I think even though it may be risky to say that it's better than a big iconic premiere like Winners at War, I think when you're talking about on paper, it is a better premiere, honestly, and it's not even really that close.
Back from the dead, we have Ghost Island, Beyond the Grave and beyond the top 8 places as it arrives here in 7th. Now, while the rest of Ghost Island has its flaws, such as uneven editing, it's less noticeable in the premiere as we get strong personal content from Jonathan, Kellen, Stephanie and Michael. We get to see the beginning of Chris and Dominic's rivalry, with Dominic being the only one to critique Chris being the leader of their tribe after the marooning challenge. And if that doesn't float your boat, how about Dominic putting a single shell on a piece of string and trying to convince Mr. Noble it's an idol? But we also get some strong relationship building scenes which go on to define the season, like Laurel and Jonathan, Chris and Sebastian, as well as Dominic and Wendell. It gets better too, as the first boot this season in Gonzalez was a really strong, albeit underrated, first vote off. She played hard and even caused an entire freaking live tribal just halfway into the episode. You rarely are going to see something like that in other premieres. But of course, the main reason this season's premiere is as high on the list as it is because of one man, Jacob Derwin, whose flame out across this 2-hour premiere is incredible, and I love the producers gave us so much time to see his thinking, however flawed it may be. It's honestly fascinating how Jacob does everything you could conceivably do wrong on Survivor. He tells his tribe he's looking for the idol, dumps half of the tribe's already limited rice into his sock in search for the idol clue, says that Malolo is the best tribe after losing the first immunity challenge. He lies about having an idol but forgets a parchment he needs to show his tribe. He then tells Stephanie his idol was fake and tells her he gave Morgan a legacy advantage. You might as well play the Alton Towers theme in the background when Jacob pops up on the screen, because each scene becomes more and more ridiculous as time goes on. And while this premiere is incredible for the prior stated reasons, it still suffers from some characters getting absolutely no content. Changing from 7 to 6, we have Survivor Gamechangers, and again, while yes, this season lost most of the big names before the merge, we're just looking at the premiere, which, as a standalone episode, is really good. We begin with some fun recaps like Suri getting Eric to give up immunity, Malcolm's 3 Amigos tribal, and Sandra reminding us in classic fashion, Queen stays Queen. The marooning is also extremely fun, with Suri making some jokes at JT's expense, Sierra gets her infamous legacy advantage, Ty is discombobulated by a crate full of chickens, and Ozzy goes out for the fishing gear uncontested. One of my favourite smaller moments also happens where Healy asks Malcolm if any of their tribe is going after the fishing gear, to which Malcolm says a big old noperino. And although many of the big names don't last long, you have to admit it's fantastic in this premiere to see new school Survivor legends like Malcolm, Sierra and Tony interacting with old school Survivor legends like Saray, Ozzy and Sandra. Tony has an incredible portion in the premiere too, going from someone with one of the most dominant wins in his original season, Cagayan, to making mistake after mistake. After 5 seconds on the beach, he runs around supposedly looking for the idol like a lunatic, he builds the least successful spy hideout in the spy bunker, and bashes heads with Sandra. We have the continuation of Ozzy and Saray's rivalry, where in spite of both individuals claiming to have buried the hatchet, it's clear it's not. Brad gets strong personal content from improving from his first season. It's fun seeing Zeke completely freaking out about all the Survivor legends he's alongside too. And although yes, the first 2 boots are quite predictable, they at least have moments surrounding them, and it's fun seeing Sierra and Tony just playing too hard, thus getting burnt. But that's the end of the video ranking seasons 10 through 6, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe as we begin the climb to 1,000 subscribers. To see the second half, check out Survivor Spencer's video ranking Survivor premieres 5 to 1, and I'll be making some appearances too if that's any further incentive to watch his side. Nonetheless, have a great day, and peace!